PC with the latest tutorial. Today we're going to be looking at Tai Chi against Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu just from a standing up position. There's an excellent demonstration of this that I've come across that I think is really worth studying and taking a look at, because there's a lot of subtle things that are going on that might not be apparent if you don't practice Wing Chun or the Chinese arts. You might not really understand what's happening. You might look at it and think, oh well, I'm just watching someone doing, wrestling or judo or stand-up Brazilian jiu-jitsu, whereas in fact, like the Tai Chi system and the Wing Chun system there's a lot of subtleties that you might be able to miss. Anyway, this is a really good video. This is sports Tai Chi push hands. So this is a friendly match between a Tai Chi push hands player and a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and so a couple of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu grapplers, and this is a guy called the Tai Chi guy's guy called Jan Lucanus, and he is using push hands to basically try to negate a lot of the strategies of the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu players. So again, look, a lot of combat is about the rules. When you're practicing these things, there are only a certain amount of things that you can do, and different rules are going to help or make someone's game better, depending on the rules. So if a Tai Chi, if a Jiu-Jitsu guy can't do any takedowns, then that's gonna he'd be at a disadvantage. If the Tai Chi player, if everything's standing up, it might benefit the Tai Chi player. So anyway, so this is a restricted match where they're using this practice is using push hand rules, full body grappling, pushing out the ring for 1 point, 2 points for any throw, and has no ground fighting. So basically anyone in this set of rules, anyone can do a takedown, but you can't. There's nothing that goes on the ground. So a Tai Chi player would be at a disadvantage if it went to the ground, because Tai Chi doesn't really have it has no ground game. That's where Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu specializes in. Okay, anyway, so we'll watch the video, and I'll tell you what I'm looking at. It's only a minute long, so I'm going to play the video right now, and you're going to just take a look at what happens. The Tai Chi player is in the white pants, and the BJJ grapplers are there's two of them, I believe. So anyway, just take a look at. So to the untrained eye, this just looks like a lot of pushing, but we'll go back and review the video shortly. So, okay, so let's go back over and review that a little bit. So there's a lot of interesting things going on here that I'm going to try to point out. So I'll just refer to them as Tai Chi player and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu player. So so if you look immediately how solid the Tai Chi player's base is, he's very rooted to the floor, and he's pushing the BJJ player backwards, and the BJJ player doesn't really know how to respond to this. And you see he's getting pushed around, and the BJJ player tries to get back his base, but he's having a hard time doing that. So therefore you can see the different rule set, which is really favors the Tai Chi person. In Tai Chi you're trying to push the other guy backwards, and it's the same in Wing Chun. Wing Chun, you're trying to drive your opponent backwards to set up strikes. In Tai Chi, you're not necessarily trying to set up strikes. You're trying to push the opponent, put them off balance, or disrupt them or throw them. So Wing Chun is sort of a combination of the two. But anyway, so they're playing wrist control here. So BJJ guys are very good at this wrist control. They'll try to grab the other person's wrist um, in order to grab a limb, and he's trying to arm drag him there. You can see the BJJ guy's trying to grab hold of an arm and arm drag him. But he's having a problem with doing the arm pull here, or getting proper control, because the Tai Chi guy is not actually, he's not interested in doing that, and has a whole kind of different philosophy behind his approach to grappling. So we'll go back and look at that again. So you see the grappler is trying to grab hold of the wrist, trying to maintain control, and he really has a hard time doing that. And I will explain why. Okay, so really, when you're with good Tai Chi or good Wing Chun, the aim of what you're doing is to use your structure to disrupt the other person's structure. You're not trying to pull off a technique per se. Any good instructor will not have the practitioner focus on pulling off a technique. What they will be doing instead is be focusing on creating proper structure and learning how to disrupt the other person's structure. So the Tai Chi player, what he's doing throughout this whole thing is he's really focusing on disrupting the BJJ player's structure. That's why he's pushing him back constantly. And you can see at the end here, he even gets off like a nice little sweep there, which is great. This is a really cool little sweep. But he does that because he's got the guy off balance, right? So he's the Tai Chi player is he's got his underhook in here. This is you see this a lot in wrestling or BJJ, right? This is an underhook here. He's pushing the guy over and then sweeps his leg. So you could see that you see that a lot in Judo, and you see that a lot in Tai Chi, in Jiu-Jitsu as well. But it's not exclusive to Tai Chi, that kind of move. But it's nevertheless, he pulls it off because he manages to pull the BJJ guy off of his base. So, so what you're looking at here really is actually a very, very high level Tai Chi that's able to almost completely stuff all of the Jiu-Jitsu guy's attempts at controlling his wrists, at arm dragging him, at taking him down. The Tai Chi player is so there's a slight difference also you'll notice in the footwork that the Tai Chi player uses. The Tai Chi in Wing Chun, we don't like to move around so much, and if we move, we're moving in a straight line. In Tai Chi, you'll see him moving around quite a lot here, and there. See, at that point there, the Jiu-Jitsu player is trying to go for a takedown. Okay, so he drops his level. You see, he's going to go and try go down to take him down. But the Tai Chi player, what he does is he has head control here, so he's pulling the guy's head down and he shoots his hips back there. So his hips are now back. So this is where, again, like you don't see this very much in Wing Chun, because Wing Chun guys do not train this at all. So that's why they get taken down a lot. If you see them up against any competent wrestler, they have no idea how to hip out or to avoid takedowns, because they don't train it. But you should train it. And Tai Chi push-hands, Tai Chi players know how to do this a lot better than Wing Chun players. So anyway, that's how he's stopping the takedown. So the Jiu-Jitsu guy just can't grab his legs, basically. And the Tai Chi player actually basically does a kind of a version of an arm drag here. So he grabs his. So you see arm grabs in Tai Chi a lot, where you pull the arm across. He doesn't do a fantastic job there. He more moves himself than the Jiu-Jitsu player, but you get the idea. Where you try to grab the arm, what he tried to do there is he tries to. I'll show you this again. Oh no, I think we missed it. Let's go back a bit here. You'll only see where he tries to do the arm grab here. So he grabs the arm, he grabs the Jiu-Jitsu player's right arm. He's going to try to pull the right arm across his body like this and go to the side, which he does. But he basically ends up moving himself more than he moves the Jiu-Jitsu player. So what you'd really want to do is move the other player, at least from a Wing Chun perspective. When you do that kind of move, we call that lap sao, where you're pulling your opponent's arm across you and taking their blind side. When you do that, you want to be moving their body and not yours. for maximum efficiency. Because once you remember in Wing Chun, if you take your feet off the floor, if you move your feet, you're losing your structure, your connection to the floor. So you don't want to do that. But anyway, again, this is I'm nitpicking here, but anyway, this is a very, again, like I said, it's a really sophisticated display of Tai Chi that might not look to the outside that it is. So this is here they're vying for the underhooks, right? So this is a little bit of a tussle, because the jiu-jitsu guy is look, he's fighting to get his underhooks in. So that means he wants both of his arms underneath the Tai Chi player's arms and around his body, and if he can get that, so the Tai Chi player has it. See, the Tai Chi player has his underhook in here like that. He's under the jiu-jitsu player's arm here, so that means he has he's able to maintain his structure here. If the jiu-jitsu player can get under that arm, then it starts to get a bit dicey for the Tai Chi player. So you see, the jiu-jitsu guys, yeah, he there's not much he's pulling off here. He's getting completely shut down. So again, the point of Tai Chi, actually they do a good job of writing about this in the description of this, actually. So if you look at what the description says here, it says Coach John Lucas uses the science of pushing to disrupt the takedown strategies of more sophisticated throwing arts, then executed throws when they are off balance or winded. So that, I think, is a really good way to understand this, that what Tai Chi and Wing Chun should be doing, they are basically they are disruptors, right? So they don't focus on techniques, they don't focus on trying to throw you or trying to do any particular technique, but what they're trying to do is disrupt your opponent's attempts to throw you or whatever it might be. And again, so they make the point here in the video, actually, that one of the points that they make actually is so therefore it says the learning push hands benefits every type of movement system, especially grappling and football. And I completely agree with this, that learning this system of learning Tai Chi or Wing Chun, these are core philosophies or concepts that you can then inject into other arts and make them more effective. They're more kind of they're conceptual frameworks, ways of understanding martial arts, as opposed to a perfect style. So it's important. I think it's really important that people who practice these things understand that you're not looking at Tai Chi as being a complete system in of itself. It's like a kind of an engine. You know, you can use that as your engine. Then you can start adding to that engine. So you can then learn Judo or Jiu-Jitsu or Wing Chun or grappling, wrestling, whatever you want, and it will become more effective. So, I mean, you could probably do that vice versa. You know, if you learn wrestling as well, you know, if you had that as your base art, it would be a very good foundation. But I think that there's so much value in learning Wing Chun or Tai Chi as a sort of as a kind of the ultimate kind of fuel injection almost for all other arts. It's definitely helped me understand wrestling and jiu-jitsu a lot better, and also Tai clinch and boxing, and what happens in boxing when you get into clinches and things like that as well. It's really helped me understand those a lot better, and I think that the Chinese arts have their philosophy is that's what's so important. Anyway, so definitely take a look at this channel. It's a really good channel. I'll just go over, give you some more information. It is, here we go, the Sports Tai Chi Push Hands and Mindful Wrestling, they call it very aptly, so that's good. I would definitely check them out. And excellent, I will see you guys in the next video.